Good morning, dear student. In our grammar, our sixth lesson, name is pronoun. So, what is pronoun? We see here the definition is given here. The word that are used to replace the noun are called pronoun. Once again, the words that are used to replace the nouns are called pronoun here. We can simplify way, we can also define here. Pronoun is used instead of noun. Once again, pronoun is used instead of noun. What is the use of pronoun here? Whatever we are using here, any noun, the sentence beginning with noun or pronoun. But when we have to use pronoun instead of noun, because we use one noun in a sentence one times only, and if we want to use such a noun second time or more time, so we have to use pronoun instead of noun here. So we can say that here pronoun is used instead of noun here, or in other way, pronoun avoid the repetition of noun. Pronoun used to repeat it over noun here. Then we see here the example is given here, like Joy is a clever boy. So here joy is masculine gender and only we are talking about one singular noun. So here for the joy we can use here he for the joy here. And also if we want to talk about joy second time, so avoid here to repeat joy, we have to use the second time pronoun here. So instead of joy we have to write he is my best friend. So for the second time, if we want to use the same noun second time, so we have to use pronoun instead of the same noun here. So Joy is a boy, so we can use here he as a pronoun here. Then Neha is a cute girl. So here Neha is a girl. So for the second time Neha, we use here she instead of Neha. So she is my classmate here. Then Tommy is my pet. Here Tommy is my pet. So for the second time Tommy, we can use here it for the birds, animals and non-living things. We have to use it pronoun instead of birds or animals here. So it is black in color. Then my friend and I went to market here. Here both noun is given here. My friend and I. When I is already given here with this another noun, so we have to use we pronoun. We brought many things here. So when my friend and I, when I comes with the other noun, on that time we have to use we pronoun here. Then I am Chris. The person, the speaker is a I. The speaker is I. Who is speaking? The sentence is I here. So I am Chris. And the listener is a second person, you. You are Vraj here. So to whom we are talking here? So the listener is a second person and we use here the you as a listener, the second person here. Then Ria and Tia are cousin here. We are talking about both now. Ria and Tina are cousin and I is not used here. I pronoun is not used here. So we have to use they in a pronoun here. So they study together here. So we use here he, she, it, we, you, I or they as a pronoun to avoid the repetition of noun. To avoid the repetition of a particular noun, we use pronoun here. Then there are four kinds of pronoun. There are four kinds of pronoun. First, personal pronoun. We can say that it is personal pronoun. The pronoun that replace the special name of the persons, place, things and animal are called personal pronoun here. So here we use the personal pronoun to replace the special name here. Like person is given here, we see here first person, so first person singular I, the first person plural we. Singular means only one noun and plural means more than one here. So if I use here I, so that is a first person. First person is a speaker here. First person is a speaker here. So I is a singular and we is a plural here. Then second person is listener to whom we are talking about here. If teacher is speaking, so here the teacher is the first person and the students are listener. So students are second person, and for that we have to use you here, and for the plural also you, either listener is only one or more than one, but the pronoun is same here, you remain here. Then third person, the first person speaker and the second person listener, both person here, they are talking about the third person, they are talking about the other person. So we have to use he for the masculine gender, she for the feminine gender, and it for the birds, animals and non-living thing. And if they are in plural, if the third person are plural, so we have to use they in a personal pronoun here. We see here the example is given here, like I am a teacher. So the person, the speaker is the first person, so for that I am teacher, so here I become the personal pronoun here. Then you are my best friend, the speaker is talking with other person and the listener is you here, so you are my best friend, so you become a personal pronoun. Then he is my brother, we are talking about the third person here, and it is in a masculine gender, so we have to use he. So he become here the personal pronoun. Then they are our player, we are talking about more than one noun, and we are talking about the third person here, so third person plural, they here use here, so they became here the personal pronoun. Then we shall meet tomorrow, so here we become the personal pronoun here. So we can say that I, we, you, they, he, she, it become a personal pronoun. Then we see here the second person, that is demonstrative pronoun here. See the first definition given here. The pronoun that point out something, are called demonstrative pronoun here. For that we have to use our finger to show the thing. For the nearest thing, if we want to show the nearest things, so for the singular we have to use this. Then if we are showing the nearest things and that is plural, so we have to use these here. So these for the singular and these for the plural. And same as here, that is farthest things here, far away from us, the things are far away from us, so we have to use here. For the singular we have to use that, and for the plural we have to use those here. So remember once again here, demonstrative pronoun that is used to point out something. To point out, by using our finger we point out something here. For the nearest thing, for the nearest thing singular, for we use this. For the plural and the nearest things we use this, and the farthest things here and that is singular, we can use here that, and for the plural, that is we use the those here for to show the demonstrative pronoun here. Example is given here. This is a big hospital, the hospital is near, and hospital is only one, so we have to use these here as a demonstrative pronoun. Then these are my notebooks, notebook is near of the speaker, the notebooks are near of the speaker, so the speaker can say that these are my notebooks, and these indicate here more than one notebook. These indicate here more than one notebooks here. Then that is a temple, the temple is only one and it is far away from us, so we can say that that is a temple. Then those are stars, there are many stars twinkling in the sky, and there are many star here. So we can indicate by our finger, those are star. So those were indicated here, that is demonstrative pronoun here. So these, that, and those indicate here the demonstrative pronoun here. Then third kind, that is interrogative pronoun. The pronoun that are used to ask question are called interrogative pronoun here. Once again, the pronoun that are used to ask questions are called interrogative pronoun. Interrogative pronoun is used to ask question here. We see here, who is playing now? Who is playing now here? Who is asked to show the interrogative pronoun here? Then what do you like? What do you like? So what indicate here? Uh, Interrogative pronoun. Then which is your car? Then why are you late? Then where do you live here? So we can say that such a ws question, that is who, what, which, why, where, indicate that is interrogative pronoun. And also one keyword, that is suppose we have to put the question mark at the end, so also we can say that it is a one key here, identification here. We can easily identify the interrogative pronoun by checking here the last, that is question mark is given, then such pronoun are interrogative pronoun here. So in short, we can say that interrogative pronouns are used to ask the question in a sentence here. Then reflexive pronoun. We can say that reflexive pronoun, the definition is also given here. The pronoun that are used to receive an action are called reflexive pronoun here. To receive an action, the pronoun that are used to receive an action are called reflexive pronoun. For the first person, we know that for the first person, suppose ourselves we are talking here. So if the first person is singular, so we have to use myself. For the speaker here, the speaker is the first person. For myself, we can say that myself here. Then the plural, that is ourself. The speaker is more than one person here. The speaker is more than one person, so myself change into ourself in a plural, in a first person. Then after the second person, the listener is the second person, we know that. So here for the second person, we have to use yourself for the singular, and for the plural, yourselves. Here self change into f, change into ves in a plural here. So in second person, for the singular, that is yourself and yourselves here. Suppose we want to talk about one singular student, so that is yourself, and the more than one student we are talking about, so here we have to use the yourselves here to find the answer of this question here. We can say that. Then the third person, we are talking about the first person speaker and the listener both are talking for the third person, and if the third person is in a he, so he change into himself, she change into herself, and it change into itself for the singular here. So we can say that himself, herself, itself are showing here, that is singular here. And for the plural, third person plural, they they change into themselves here. They change into themselves here for the plural here. Then we see the example here. Suppose I shall write myself here. So I is given here in example, so we have to change I change into myself here. So I change into myself. Then she cook herself well, so here she change into herself. Then we should follow our self rules here. We must follow the rules regulation ourselves here. So I change into myself, she change into herself, then we change into ourselves. Then people here, people, more than one people we are talking about, more than one person, so we can say that person is change people in a plural here. So people is a plural form, so we are talking about third person plural. So people change into themselves to the poor here. So people help themselves to the poor here. Then joy, we are talking about one third person singular and masculine gender. Jai is a masculine gender. So Jai went Mumbai himself. It means Jai himself went Mumbai here. So here myself, herself, ourself, then themselves, and himself indicate here that is reflexive pronoun here. Then one note is given here. A pronoun must agree with its subject in a number and gender, etc. here. So this note is most important here. Whatever we are using the pronoun must be agree with the subject here. It means the subject is in singular, so we have to use singular helping verb, and gender is also helping verb. We have to use here gender and number in a singular. And if the pronoun is in a plural form, so we have to use the noun number and gender also in a plural forms here. So a pronoun must be agree with its subject in a number and gender, etc. So we have to use pronoun according to saying the noun number either in singular or plural and saying the gender here. So saying the gender is means if the gender is in masculine, so we have to change the pronoun related to the masculine gender, and if the gender is in a feminine gender, so we have to change the pronoun related to the feminine gender here. So we must have to follow the pronoun must be agree with its subject in a number and gender here. It means we have to see, we have to change the pronoun related to noun number and gender here. So in short, we can say that here pronoun is used to stop the repetition of noun. To avoid the repetition of a noun in a sentence, we use pronoun. And in short, we can say that pronoun is used instead of noun. Pronoun is used instead of noun. And in other way, pronoun used to avoid the repetition of noun. Pronoun stop the repetition of same noun. Okay, thank you.